What's going on, fight fans? It's your host Sebastian, and welcome back to the Boxing Tip. Now, I hope everybody enjoyed a very beautiful night of boxing last night. Unfortunately, they broadcasted the HBO and Showtime card at the same time. Nevertheless, if you got DVR or you set it for record, I watched both cards last night. Also, the Show Extreme card, which featured the David Benavidez fight, which I'm going to talk about right now. First, let me just give a quick little shout out to Josh Taylor from the UK, a great undefeated prospect from the United Kingdom. Seemed like he had his fucking hands full with Oliveira last night. Man, I'll tell you one thing though, just to kind of mention real quick, is that if that Oliveira dude just would have been a little bit quicker, something tells me, and maybe just a little bit more powerful or a little bit more athletic overall, because he seemed like he was doing some really good shit in there. It's just, he swung his hands very slowly. He wasn't the most powerful boxer, but that was actually kind of a big surprise, man. I was expecting Josh Taylor to just roll right through him, but man, he gave Taylor some work. So yeah, that fight was interesting to watch, man. I really enjoyed that one. And then also Ivan Redkach came back, knocked out Brock, in the later rounds. Seems like Redkach is kind of getting his bearings back, but we'll see. He looks a little faded still, even though he did look impressive. Be interesting to see where he goes from here. But let's go ahead and talk about the fight, which to me was the main attraction of the Show Extreme card before the Leo Santa Cruz Carl Frampton card, or the main event card. And then, which, like I said, I felt this was the main attraction of the Show Extreme card, the undercard of the Carl Frampton Leo Santa Cruz bout. Anyways, I'm still pissed off that the Lee Selby fight didn't happen, man. I was really looking forward to it, but nevertheless, Jonathan Barros, I'm hearing that he had some, what the requirements were medical related. He didn't pass something medical. I've heard claims of a pretty serious disease to have, but anyways, let's talk about the David Benavidez fight. Now, you guys know that I'm very optimistic about boxing. You guys know that I get very excited about every fight, but don't get it confused. It doesn't cloud my judgment to the point where, I'm so happy that I'll just give anybody, credit for anything. But that's not the case. I just like to get myself amped up for a fight, regardless if I know that the fighter is completely outmatched, stands damn near no chance of winning. Nevertheless, it's boxing, and given that David Benavidez is so early in his career, I mean, he's only 20 years old. He might be 21 now, but last time I checked, he was 20 years old. He's young as shit. He turned professional at the age of 15, and he fights like he's been fighting professionally for, fucking 10 years, the skill set that the kid has, and I'm not just saying that he displayed all of that in this fight. It's just from previous fights that I've seen him in. Granted, the competition isn't exactly top notch, and neither was Sherali Mamajonov, but this fight, and when you get fights like these, they're usually to kind of amp up the star fighter, the prospect, the guy on the come up, which I think David Benavidez is on the come up. And even though he's still young, I don't think it's going to be very long before he makes it, to the, fighting the top-notch competition at the 168-pound division. Granted, he doesn't move up in weight or anything like that, but when you get a fight like this, it's a showcase fight. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a showcase fight. The guy's supposed to go in there and destroy. Now, we've seen showcase fights go bad or go wrong, like the Josh Taylor fight. I'm pretty sure that was just for him to kind of roll over that opponent, look good on national television, and then, get a real big step up in his entertainment value. Well, it didn't exactly work for him. Even though it was an entertaining fight, he just didn't look as good as promised. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if that fucker was just a little bit more athletic, Oliveira, he would have gave Josh Taylor some problems, man, because I don't know what it is about that Phoenix, them fuckers coming out of Phoenix, man, but there's some good-ass fighters, man. Even the ones that aren't necessarily, held in high regard, you know, like David Benavidez is. You know, he's a Phoenix fighter as well. But you know, about the showcase thing, you know, we've seen showcase fights go wrong. David Benavidez is exactly, and versus Sherali Mamajonov is exactly what a showcase fight is supposed to look like. It took 2 rounds. The guy stood absolutely no chance, you know, and he was really small too. So, and they were telling, you know, they were talking about, you know, the commentators were talking about how Sherali Mamajonov really did not want this fight. I don't fucking blame him. That's a scary motherfucker to fight. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. Went in there, dominated him completely, and got him out of there quickly. Very quickly. He didn't look like he was rushing the knockout. He took his time. He was patient about everything. But like I was talking about David Benavidez in the quick, you know, breakdown that I did of this fight, is that David Benavidez finds the openings, even if they're not there. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're not the average, you know, the usual openings that you would find, you know. This kid just knows how to spot everything. I mean, those body shots that he was ripping to Mamajonov, man, the dude was guarded, but he slips his, you know, he slips that glove, you know, that punch right behind his, you know, the guard, you know, when he tucks the elbows down to his rib cage, you know. Even then, his punches are still landing cleanly because they're going right around those elbows, you know. And that's one thing about David Benavidez that I'm really starting to notice, is how fucking accurate he is with his punches and how well he spots the openings. You know, his defense is on point, footwork's on point, power like a motherfucker. He's actually really quick for his size. You know, at least his hand speed is really quick for his size. I've seen him use some footwork. He can move around. You know, he's a big kid, but he can move around. But like I said, man, David Benavidez, I know it's super early to speak too highly of him, you know, so I don't want you guys to be like thinking that my optimism about David Benavidez is clouding my judgment. You know, I just see a lot of promise in him, given by what he can do in the ring. I'm not saying that, you know, when he gets up to the, you know, top-notch competitive fights, you know, fighting the James DeGales, the, you know, the Cullum Smiths, the Durrell brothers, the Gilberto Ramirez's, you know, I'm not saying like that he's just gonna fucking cakewalk run them right over. You know, I just think that once he gets up to those higher level of fights, I don't think he's gonna have a problem, you know, being competitive with those guys. I think he could probably already be competitive with them now. I'm not saying that he would win against them, but I'm saying that being that he's so young and so early in his career, even though he's been a professional for about 5 years because he turned professional at the age of 15, he still has a lot of time to become a better fighter than what he already is, and he already is a very skilled fighter. So by the time he does reach, you know, the higher upper echelon, you know, top-notch fighters, who knows how good he'll be by that time. You know, whether it's a year down the road, 2 years, 3 years down the road, shit, but even if it's 4 years down the road, he'll still be 24 by the time he reaches that level. If it takes 4 years, which I don't think it is. I don't think it's going to, but you know, if it does take that long, if they decide to slowly move him along, man, really get this kid sharpened up, hone in on every skill set, you know, on all the skill set, his entire skill set, sorry about that, his entire skill set, really work on his athleticism. Like I said, he doesn't look like the hardest, you know, he ain't rock solid muscle, you know, he looks a little soft, you know, and, well, he was, you know, at the age of 15 years old, or somewhere, you know, I think maybe 14 years old, he was, what, 220 pounds, and he dropped fucking damn near, what, 80 pounds, 70 pounds to fight in the professionals, you know. And then not to mention he comes from a family of boxers. His brother is an undefeated prospect welterweight, Jose Benavidez, and he's a pretty badass fucking fighter himself. Unfortunately, he's suffering from a gunshot wound. Hopefully he makes a full recovery, man. He's a really good fighter as well. I really like his brother. But David Benavidez, man, like I said, he's just, once he gets there, he has all this time to make these improvements, or really just sharpen what he does well now, you know what I'm saying, and pick up a few new things on the way. I'm saying that once he does get there, it's a very good chance that he's going to be a serious problem by then, you know. And then not to mention, all the changes that'll happen in the super middleweight division from here until then. You know what I'm saying? However long it takes. You know, we already had Badou Jack move out of the division. That's a significant change. You know, now there's a WBC title. We potentially have a new WBC champion, you know. But they don't seem like they're forcing, you know, they're not seeing like they're fast tracking David Benavidez, which I think is a good thing, being that he's only 20 years old. I think they should take a little bit more time, maybe 2-3 years tops, before he gets up into those, you know, top 10, top 20 fights, or maybe a little bit sooner for the top 20, but, you know, kind of keeping it, you know, at a steady pace. Let him really get, you know what I'm saying, really develop as a boxer completely. You know, being that he's such a young man, he has a lot of time to grow. You know, really let him develop, and then, you know what I'm saying, then push him for those big fights. And by then, I'm pretty sure this kid will be more than ready. So, but like I said, you know, it's not my optimism's not clouding my judgment. I know that if this kid were to fight one of those guys, chances are he'll probably lose. But, you know, he's pretty good, so hell, chances are he could pull it off. But, you know, why take that chance now when you have so much time as being such a young man to develop into a much more superior boxer than what you are now? You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He kept his cool, kept his patience, knocked out Sherali Mamajonov. He didn't rush it. He didn't get sloppy. He looked really clean, and it looked really impressive. It was exactly what it was supposed to be. He did his job exactly how he was supposed to. So congratulations to David Benavidez, man. I'm very excited for him. Definitely going to be talking about him a lot more often. So, but let me know what you guys think, man. If you caught the fight on Show Extreme, let me know what you guys thought about the fight. Also, let me know what you guys think about David Benavidez, man. Are you guys feeling him? Are you guys not, you know, completely convinced about him yet? Just let me know. You know, we can talk about it. Also, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your boxing homies, introduce somebody to boxing so they do not miss any more beautiful boxing nights like yesterday. Get them caught up so they don't miss out on any more of the 2017 action. But that's all I got for you guys for this one. I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Peace.